Want to unlock your inner detective? I'll show you 16 easy to draw icons to add to your journal as you uncover clues and shine a light on your self-awareness and growth. To give myself the 16 blocks, I started with a regular piece of copy paper and I folded it in half 4 times so I'd have 16 sections to have this visual library. It did keep popping up as I was filming, so then I switched to a paper that I just drew the lines, but those are the 16 sections that you'll have. And then I roughed them in pencil so that I would know I did fit all 16 in the blocks. And then I'm going to switch into marker so that you can see them more clearly. And I just want you to realize it's not perfect art. You're going to see simple shapes: square, rectangle, circle. The first is the file. You're looking into the cold case of your history. So it's basically a rectangle, but it has that little tab on the top. And to give a little interest, I put a little post-it with a folded note on it and a paper clip. The second one is that you're looking at things close up. So we have a magnifying glass. It's just 2 circles inside of each other with the 2 parallel lines for the handle. The next is a flashlight. So we're building the flashlight with the 2 parallel lines and then like a half circle and then a long skinny rectangle, trying to shine the light with the little action lines and maybe put the little switch on the side with an oval and a circle. A little notebook like Columbo taking your notes, so it's a little rectangle. And then I'm going to put the holes in it, so I do the center, the 2 ends, and 1 in between each. I find that easier to do the spacing. And then the little spiral rings combine and connect. And I do find it helpful when you want to do writing. I'm just putting little zigzag lines, but like in your head, imagine writing a sentence, how long the words would be. Our little pencil next to it. Moving on to the camera, it's basically a rectangle, a little bit rounded on the edges. And then again, there's the little square of the viewfinder. And then there's going to be the 2 circles, one inside the other. And really you can add more detail or less detail. I chose to then make it look like it had 2 little stripes on it by doing the parallel lines in it. This is what you would be seeing through the viewfinder, so this one is more helpful that there was a square underneath there, and then I marked the corners, and then there's like who you're spotting through your viewfinder as you're kind of zooming in your camera on something. So it's like a keyhole person, but it's just the top of the person. And I'm going to do the snapshots of what you're doing, right? So there's our picture, which kind of has like a Polaroid frame where I left the bottom bigger, and you can put somebody in your picture with a little background. If you want to say you've taken more than one, maybe you're recording where things happened in your journal with the snapshots. When I moved it over, you're still trying to make sure these 2 squares are the same size. This one is kind of like your alarm bells going off. Like, are you starting to notice something? Are you hearing the sirens? So it's like a little old style siren that would be on top of a car with some action lines off of it. This one, the footprints, what's left behind is the clues, who was there. So I actually think of it like an exclamation point where I have the top part of the foot and then the bottom part is that circle below for the exclamation point. The eye, there are so many different ways to do eyes. I just chose one that was going to have a lot of black to pop forward in your journal. So it's the almond shape of the eye, but then it has a little reflection in there. I'll go back and add the black with a bigger marker. This is the things that are locked. They're padlocked up, so it's basically a square with an arch over it and a keyhole, like the circle with that kind of triangle underneath it. So here's our simple key. So many different ways to make keys as well. The safe. What is locked more than padlocked? So what has really been stored away in the vault So I definitely noticed I had a bump in my table there. I'm trying to smooth that out, but I have to remind myself also it's not about perfect art. It's what are we trying to get across? And there are things that maybe you're not letting yourself look at. They're filed away in the vault. When I put the little marks on that circle, I'm always thinking of the compass, north, south, east, west, and the handle for our vault. The fingerprint, I have the oval sketched in. I drew that one line so you'd know I'm going to go back. And now in the fine line marker, I'm going around the line that I put. So I'm making the fingerprint. I wish I had my hand more out of the way, but you really needed the marker straight up and down to have it really thin. So it's like an arch going over it, over it, over it, and then there are some curves over the top part of it, and then just you finish it off out to the oval that was drawn as the fingerprint. So this, I had the circle sketched in the pencil, and then I'm making it into these 3 arrows that are like you're going around in circles. Maybe you're collecting the clues, but you're feeling like you're just going around in a circle. And our puzzle piece, again, there was a rectangle sketched in, and then it makes it much easier to go and build the notches out of it and out, protruding out on the other side. And then lastly, which this seems the most simple, is your questioning. So it's a question mark in your thought bubble. So you have your curves of your thought bubble. Add these icons to your visual library and be on the lookout for more videos to help you build your sketch note toolkit.